Alright, Shalom. I will give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Requah, Harbidash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS and the sincere Shalom to the brothers pushing this truth and sincerity. And I wouldn't go into the topic, basically going to these camps, um, going to these camps pretty much using our people. And that's pretty much the thing, especially since they do it right along Esau. Not every camp, but just a lot of these other camps that has that 501c3, and even unintentionally, some of these other camps that's that's unknowingly still doing Esau's work. Because, for example, if you have guys with the 501c3 that wants to wake up everybody, every black man, woman, and child, for example, and they don't teach according to that that so-called looking Edomite could be a Jake, or that Chinese could be a Jake, and that's what they go off from a lot of things. Even with these other camps that's just full blown cussing out Esau, they would never consider someone with white skin, so-called white skin, to be someone from the tribe of Israel, and that's where the prom goes off. Is that a lot of people, really a lot of our these camps is technically using these people for their own selfish gain, and that's not what it's supposed to be about. These guys is just basically a whole thing with popularity to them, and that should never be. Like I said, that should never be a thing. That's actually really wicked. So if I'm to start it off, oh shit, I'm gonna get this scripture right here. Um, Here we go. This is, where'd he go? Oh, here it is. This is Isaiah 42 and 22, and it says, "But this is a people robbed and spoiled." Now, normally when we read that scripture, that's always going to Esau robbing us, exploiting us with these technologies, robbing us of our identity and everything with it. But on the other hand, you got these other camps that are pretty much spoiling our people with all this crazy stuff. Because Esau will put all this stuff out, make our people see kind of like some form of madness going on, and then they get captivated when they see these other camps pretty much just standing up for black power, so called, waking up every black person and cussing out the cracker. That's basically all entertainment. That's how these other camps out here just want to pretty much spoil these people by pretty much pumping them up, saying that you need to wake up, these crackers need to go down, so on and so forth. But that's not really edifying. So when you, I mean, it's a form of edification, but you gotta go further past that, and that's what these guys lack. They don't really edify. They just do it for pretty much a comedy, to gain views, gain people for just to cuss out Esau, or just gain more views just so they can seem like they're actually better than everybody. And that's the wicked that's the wicked things of this world that's still put on them. And so when you keep reading, it said they are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. So even in this place, we are still in the prison house, and our people. So not even our people, but these other camps that want to build in this place, you want to build in the prison house. What good is that? What good is building in a place that's not but a prison to us? And that's where these guys really go off at, is where you want to build up in this place and tell everybody to wake up, or the simple fact that they are they are all of them snared in holes. This is one of those things that they're snared in holes with, is just this whole popularity thing. Like, it's what, how should I say that? Not only are these people pretty much just stuck, just seeing what they seeing, but these guys, they're not focused on Yahweh Shah or the Lord at all. They're focused on who can get the more views, the more women, the most popularity. That's what it's all about. You rarely hear them even really mentioning the law like that. Compared to, if they get an argument, the first thing they want to bring up is you don't have no views. What good is that? What good is the argument on that if it's not pertaining to Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Shah? You're basically, so if the first thing you want to go to is views, then when you have to question what the hell you're doing this for, which means you actually been supplanting these people that you're trying to get to watch you, so you can say that you're better than everybody. That's really wicked. Does it really try to supplant people in a wicked way instead of I would say in a righteous way? That you're really just doing this to wake up the elect. But no, the first thing that wants to come out of your mouth is views, when not when barely any of these views are even sincere. So I'm gonna get 2 Peter 2:19, and it says, while they promise them, while they promise them liberty, they themselves are servants of corruption. And that's a lot of these camps out here in the South. Of course, that's going into the black leaders, like pretty much every black leader. But these other camps do the same thing technically. The churches, same thing. They're all servants of corruption. They play they how they service of corruption is how they want to just seek out views, wake up, uh, just black people, and just build in this place. That's corruption. That's something that should not even be a thing. Instead, you should be telling these people to wake up to pretty much get out of this place, not to be in it, or to be teaching that it's more than just being just a dark skin just to wake up somebody. For all that, you might as well just go to Africa or Pakistan or something, or go to the Arabs and try to wake them up too, because they got dark skin. So that shows that they're really out here just for fame. They make because it just really seems hypocritical of them to just want to wake up people, black people, just with dark skin. They won't you just defy what the scripture says to just pretty much just to justify that only black people's on the signs. You'll disclose that someone of white skin could be an Israelite. Well, there we go. Because I'm gonna get it to that one word. There it is. Copy. But yeah, you had to really question what these guys are really doing, or you had to question yourself, what are you doing if you're only out here for views and just black people? You ain't getting nowhere, because if that was the case, if it's just only black people, it'd just be that easy just to wake up everybody, or just to know that everybody that's black is just just an Israelite. When we're just scattered all over the place. All right, so I'm gonna get into that word liberty real quick. And it says the power to do as one pleases. See, that's where these guys is really messed up at. Is because they really think they could just go out here and just cuss out everything they see, or just get on anybody they see, or just rebuke anybody that's inside their ranks to just be okay with it. That's a form of no order right there. That's you trying to put uh, uh, a power before something you don't even have. And that's the confusing thing about this. At least at least when we come out there and we teach, we know we don't have that much of power to do much of anything against Esau. But the fact that we are still hurting him with this truth and preaching to do what we do, we're not hypocriting ourselves to do something that we don't have the power to do. And of course, technically, through the power of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, he gives us that amount of power to actually be out there and teach. We ain't out there to wake up every black person. We out here to do specifically what Yahweh told us to do. So I'm gonna get another scripture real quick. Um, where is it? Here it is. And this is, I don't know what close. It says it's Jeremiah 10:8 where it says they are altogether brutish and foolish, and and the stock is a doctrine of vanities. So actually, I'm gonna get into that word brutish as well, because that's another thing that that is pretty much said loosely among not loosely, but but it's another thing because when you read that scripture, it says they are all brutish and foolish, and the stock is a doctrine of vanities, and that's what these guys are out here doing. They're like a stock with the doctrine that's full of vanities. It's nothing but worldly things, just to go over some dumb shit that was already explained before. Then you got guys that just want to go and say that the old breakdowns mean nothing. Well, if that was the case, what is the new things? Because everything that was written from Yahweh Shah, well, of course, from the disciples and everything, those are old things. So you mean to tell me you want to build something that's new, that's full of vanity, full of vain things that's based off your own understanding? And that's the worst kind of people you want to be around, especially dealing with this truth. Is the fact that a lot of guys just come out there and just make up anything they want to say just to make themselves look good. And the whole time they're just stupid. That's basically, well, what is that? I can get the other scripture real quick because that's another thing that these guys like to do. Actually, I got brutish right here before I get this other scripture, and it says the definition of brutish is resembling, befitting, or typical of a brute or beast, strongly and grossly sensual, brutish gluttony, showing little intelligence or sensibility. So when you read Jeremiah 10:8, when it says they are altogether brutish and foolish, that means they are altogether showing little intelligence, and they are foolish. They're the typical beast of a brain. They're just the typical brainless beast. They're not smart. They show little intelligence. That's why they can come up with all these damn with all these doctrines, and none of it makes sense. All of it sounds stupid. You just look at them like, where did you get this breakdown from? What what in your inkling of a mind made that even sound remotely close to even sounding good? Hell, it probably sounded better in your head than it came coming out of your mouth. So I'm gonna get this other scripture where it says, this is Psalms 50:16. It says, "But unto the wicked Yahweh saith, What hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest takest my covenant in thy mouth?" So, oh yeah, seeing as thou hatest instruction. So that's what these guys do. They hate instruction, but you had to really question, what are you really doing out there to really claim that you're really doing the work of the Lord? To really even claim that this is even remotely correct to you. Wait, shit. It says even seeing thou hast Slack, seeing thou hatest instruction and carest my words behind thee. So to say that we got the old breakdowns and you're gonna and you and y'all had the new breakdowns, which means y'all done cast the Lord's words behind you. To say that, oh, y'all got the old breakdowns and all this other stuff. I break I if we don't, well, check if you want to be like that. Yeah, we have the old breakdowns. Our breakdowns may be old, but we still evolve with it. But at the same time, we're not gonna just throw out what Yahweh Shah says and then just bring in something else out of nowhere to something that doesn't make sense. We could just destroy that with common sense. So the lack of the lack of understanding with these people are just not there. It's just not there at all. You had to really question where the hell these guys even come from. To get back into the Jeremiah 10 and 8, where it says a stock is a doctrine of vanities. I got the definition of stock right here, where it says a log or a block of wood, something without life or consciousness, a dull, stupid, lifeless person. So something without life or consciousness, like what what they bring out them doctrines, they don't hold no life. They don't hold no understanding, no real life meaning towards them. It says a dull, stupid, or lifeless person. Their doctrines are just dull, they're stupid, and it's just lifeless. Just to the point of it is it holds nothing. It's just nothing but a doctrine of vanities. That's where you get like women that just want to be in the mirror for 2 hours straight, and they could have just done something simpler. You done wasted time for nothing. See, all that time you done wasted trying to make up a new doctrine, it was for nothing because all of it sounds stupid. They don't hold no real life, nothing of actual value. So while this is all happening, you just screwing up a mark for your own destruction because you're casting you casting the Lord's words behind you, just so you can make up something that sounds remotely better in your head, just so you can gain followers and some most dumb stuff. But that's pretty much my take on that because all these that's what these camps do. They would supplant people and to make it seem like they're all this great camp that just knows deep breakdowns when deep breakdowns are just too deep for themselves or for other people that's trying to learn. You gotta start with the meat and then work your way in. But you got people out, you got these guys out here that'll just bring out deep scriptures just so they can sound intelligent when they have no intelligence. So with that, I just want to say shalom and death to this wicked society and these false camps, false prophets. May they burn. Shalom.